Get started here. Our first inductee is John Godbold, and here to induct John is the best athletic trainer in America, a two-time Winthrop employee, Jeff Lair. I don't know if you know, it's also like Starbucks.
No, Starbucks. As you see here, this is Mr. Godbold, Mike Pacheco, Dave Freeman, Claire. We were at the Pike Place Market in Seattle 2 years ago. We had just visited the original Starbucks. Mr. Godbold got up with the rest of us at 6:30 in the morning so we could be there at 7. And that was my number 400th different Starbucks that I have been to. So they all wanted to witness that. Well, I started going to Starbucks back, I think in 98, 99, because I had to relieve the stress of being with that basketball team because they were so stressful to work with. Chuck, you gave me some stuff I could feed off of. So, John and I went the other day, we were trying to figure out how long we've known each other. We thought it was 2005. Well, then we were on the bus going to PC, and he came up with the fact that it was 2002 because he was still officiating football. And so the story goes, this is how we got him to come to Winthrop. He had come back to Rock Hill, and he was still officiating. And he came to the athletic training room. He had suffered an injury, and he needed some help. We did not know who he was. Okay, he came in, introduced himself. I was there with my assistant at the time, Mr. Hudak. You would know Trent O'Neill. And we took him in and we took care of him. We took care of that injury so he could get back out on the field and officiate. And that's where it started, 2002. 2007, when we went to Spokane to play Notre Dame, that was the first trip he went on with us, with the men's basketball team. And since that time, he has made a lot of trips with us over the years. So, you know him as a fan of the athletics, but what he has done for Winthrop athletic training, a lot of you don't know about. And you guys that are here from the 98, 99 team, Carrie, you need to come back and see the athletic training room in the Coliseum because it looks totally different. And that's because of him. And also, when the second phase of the baseball stadium was completed with an athletic training room, there was no funds available left over for us to equip that room. And if it wasn't for him, it probably never, we don't know if it ever would have been equipped. So the athletes, for the baseball players to have their treatments done out there at the baseball stadium. And so that has happened. And now we have a more up-to-date athletic training room at the Coliseum, and it just looks beautiful, and it's all due to Mr. Godbold. And so, with that being said, this gentleman has been a close friend of mine now for 21 years. And I've considered him a Hall of Famer as long as I've known him, and now he's the next inductee into the Winthrop Athletics Hall of Fame, class of 2024, Mr. John Godbold.
I'd like to let you. I love you, brother.
You bet. What you got, Tom?
Yeah, goodies. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You want to take that now? Very good. Yeah, good. Very good. Thank you. Very special. The person introducing me tonight That is about as serious as I've seen him in a long time. I was waiting for some real jabs, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Other honorees tonight, what a great situation this is, and I'm just proud to be with everybody here tonight for that. The Terrys, I'm sort of following in your footsteps. What they have done for our softball is just amazing, and that type of heart, that's what Winthrop's all about. Now, why this is sort of special to me. The Godbold family has been involved with Winthrop for 90 years. My mother is a 1934 graduate of Winthrop. Goes back a long way. I went to preschool over in McPhee on campus. I remember those little old cots, those little old thing we rolled out for naps over there. So I've been involved for that period of time. Well, another thing is Winthrop had a school across the street called Winthrop Training School. And I went from across the street, and this was a school that you went from kindergarten through the 12th grade in the same building. Amazing. Now, to explain to my friends about going to Winthrop Training School, and they would always say, "What did you do bad? Why did you? What was the deal that you had to go to a training school?" Well, the training school was for the teachers at Winthrop, the student teachers, so they could come over and do their practice teaching. Now, can you imagine a 16 or 17 or 18-year-old boy, which was me, having a teacher that was 20 years old and I thought was knock dead gorgeous? That was a perk. That was a good thing. My other thing about training school, my father was principal of Rock Hill High School, so I was going to another school. My mother was a teacher at Winthrop Training School, but all the students at Rock Hill High School, because we were WTS, they called us well-trained sissies. Now, I go for the well-trained. I think we were well-trained. But here again, we did play a little sports at Winthrop Training School. We're a Class B school, and that was in a time where AAA was the highest division. We're Class B. We couldn't find anybody to play, so we had to play in a higher category. Well, we whooped them. We whooped them. We were champions almost every year with this little school. My senior year, we played Union High School. We're a Class B school. They're a AAA school. We beat them 28-0. Our coach the next year got a job at Union High School. I don't think I got thanked for helping him, but that's okay. Football officiating, that's what was mentioned by Jeff. That is a sport that, from the coach's perspective and a fan's perspective, you have to start off perfect and you have to get better. And that's hard to accomplish. But can you imagine out there on a field with these 22 guys who are trained athletes with helmets and shoulder pads and they're fast and all that maybe we might get injured occasionally. And that does happen. And also, the worst thing in football you can have, if the ball is fumbled, and you remember football is not round, you don't know which direction it's going, and if it ends up between your legs as a football official, it's a death warrant. 22 players are trying to get to that one spot at the same time, and they don't say, "Excuse me, Mr. Official." So anyway, that's when I started coming in to see Jeff. I needed help. Just had moved back to Rock Hill, and I was hurt. And so Jeff took me in just like he said. He didn't know who I was or anything. He knew I was an athlete. And he just took me in and he took care of me. So I come in to him on Monday, go back out Friday to officiate a college football game, come back in Monday, he'd fix me back up again, and then back out on Friday. So that's where all this Hall of Fame stuff started, with Jeff and that training room. Now, this is sort of reminding me of that taxi driver in New York City. It's not just the destination, but it's the people that you run into along the way. And the great people started off with Jeff. Then made that trip out to watch the game against Notre Dame, and it just sort of getting into the flow of basketball. And then that's when Coach Marshall moved on, and his assistant Randy Peel came in. And by me hanging around with Jeff around the Coliseum, Randy and I became good friends. And for some reason, he sort of adopted me or whatnot, and so I started becoming part of his program, and that was just a wonderful thing. And a compliment to me, from my standpoint, is that I had been praying. You know, God, do something with me. You know, what do you want me to do now? I've been in the corporate world, I've been those things, but now it's time for me to do something else. So that's when Randy came into life. And just recently, Randy texted me, and in it he said, I've been in the Bible, and he texted the front page of that Bible, and it said, to Randy Peel from John Godbold. Wow. That's what it's all about. Then one of his coaches enjoyed that 5 years with Randy. We went all over everywhere. If Jeff says he's had the most bus trips in the history of Winthrop. I've had the second most. And so with one of his coaches, Coach Larry Dixon, now he is up at NC State. And Larry has the awesome responsibility of DJ Burns. And I asked Larry, I said, Larry, how are you handling his weight? He giggled a little bit, and he said, John, he's north of 300 now. So anyway, but I like to watch him play, and he's one of the quickest basketball players for his size I've ever seen. Now, after Coach Peel, we had a gentleman named Pat Kelsey. And he's the guy that always says, hey, you know, he makes coffee nervous. Now, his energy was unbelievable, and he made the coaches nervous, the players nervous, and made me nervous. So it was quite a trip under Pat. But Pat was so involved with practice and whatever going on. One day his father was sitting on the sideline, and his father was yawning. Pat called his daddy down for yawning. He is an intense man. Now comes Coach Prosser. I see Coach Prosser right back there. He had been on the coaching staff before. Quite a success at Western Carolina, but just quite a natural to come back and take over the program. And he and his family have settled in and whatnot, and we're just glad to have him, and he invited me into his coaching staff, which I appreciate very much. Now, Mark, in the process of you coming back to Winthrop, you had a great resume, but you also had some great assistant coaches, part of the package. So it wasn't just Mark coming back, it was these great coaches that we have that are good friends today, like that. Tom Hickman, a friend that presented the award for me, he was one that helped me sort of work with Jeff to make the initial gifts. And it was very important to us that the gifts were for all athletics, and all of the athletes at Winthrop University. And that's what he has helped me, guide me through to do that. Chuck Gray, he is the right person at the right time, because I was over at the athletic department when we went through COVID. I was over there when Winthrop put a freeze on all hiring, and it was really a tough situation over there. Went without an athletic director for a long period of time. But I can tell you this today, with Chuck Gray's background in business, his background as a coach, he's taken over the athletic department, and we got nothing but great things ahead of us. And I just appreciate Chuck very much. Now, my spiritual leaders, I need to call them out because they're very important to me and important to my life. Angie Lanier, right here. I was fortunate to be on the committee to put together Fellowship of Christian Athletes coming to Winthrop University. And of course, Angie has come along for the ride and has been a very special part of my life and my spiritual life, but in my personal life too. Another gentleman named Joe Hudak. Joe Hudak, right back here. Hall of Famer. Joe has been teaching our coaches Bible study for at least 15 years. And we were over in Sid's little tennis hut over there. And we had the Bible study, and Joe has been a friend and a spiritual leader for me, and I appreciate that so much, Joe. Another partner of mine, Randy Graham. Randy goes with the basketball team. He has the chapel with the basketball team. He has Bible study with the players. He has Bible study with the coaches. And he is a person that I look up to very much and a partner that we travel together. Now, a vision that I have for Winthrop, because Winthrop's back on the right track, as Chuck told us. It's back on a good footing. We're starting back up. Can't you visualize out on 77, 3 or 4 big billboards up there saying the academics that we have at Winthrop and all the accolades we've had from U.S. World Report and all those different ones? We need that up there. We need to show it. Also, our Division I sports, we need that. We need that shown off. And I went to Charlotte this week, and I came back, and I saw 4 Stephen Cooley signs. Wouldn't Stephen Cooley love to donate one of those to us and be associated with us and us just buy the paper? I think we could do that. How many people in York County actually know about Winthrop? And everybody's going to go up 77. So anyway, that's a vision I have, that we can partner with businesses and we can partner with individuals to help us with these billboards and put them up there and say we're open for business. Now, the biggest thing in my heart, though, is we got a Coliseum out there. It's been out there for years and years, 30 plus years, and it doesn't have any name on it other than Winthrop. Don't we need a partner to put their name on the Coliseum? We need that. And what that's going to do is it's going to take us in a completely different direction. Now, all that money that we're going to get for that sign up there on the Coliseum, the athletic department, we don't want it all. We want half of it. So, that's good for the university because there's a lot of things on campus that we need money for. And the biggest thing we need now is we need that corporate citizen to say, I believe in Winthrop University. And that's what that big gift will do, and that will just carry us on into the future. So that's my dream. Thank you very much. Go Eagles.